All right, I'm sorry. I'm having too much fun with the buttons, man. I'm playing with the buttons, and I'm just having fun, man. But anyway, man, welcome everybody to Talk That Talk. We have the unfiltered, unscripted, uncomfortable conversation about band, HBCU, band culture, music education, and more. Go ahead and slap, tap, and do whatever you need to do to the like button, hit the subscribe button. What? It's the button. You just slap or tap it. Do whatever you need to do. Also, don't forget, you can stop by our store and get anything that you want in our store. Put it all in your cart. You can get 30% off your purchase. All you have to do is type in HBCU band. All right.
I don't know why everything just sounds so perverted when you say it. Put it in your cart. Slap it. I don't know why. I
don't know I didn't say put it nowhere else. I don't know why it would be.
It's crazy. Slap it. Tap it. It's like, whoa,
slap
bro.
it. Tap the like button. Do whatever you got to do.
You're about to say rub the button. I don't care, but make sure you click it.
Let's be very clear. I have said rub the button before, but that was past stuff. I haven't asked anybody to rub any buttons in a long time. So
last time a button was rubbed, you got a baby.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway, Brother Quan, how are you doing today outside of laughing at all the stuff I'm saying?
Hey, bro, we here. It's Bandtober. You know, shout out to all the bands, band directors. Yeah, bro. I mean, it's that time. It's that last push before the end of the season. It's the UIL competitions, the marching festivals. If you're a band director or you're a significant other to a band director, guess what? Forgive them. It's grace. We didn't know it was going to be like this.
It's struggle mode right now. It's struggle mode.
You know, have grace on them. If they're irritable, just give them a hug at the door. You know, give them a hug at the door.
Hey, there you go. There you go. Can't argue with it. I'm not going to argue with you about that. That it is definitely Bandtober. A lot is going on. And not to mention the fact that this is also not only the time for all of the festivals and all of the games, it's also homecoming time for a lot of folks. So you got to throw all of that in there. Throw it in the pot of gumbo, mix it up, and some of it may be delicious and some of it may not be, because some people don't know how to make no gumbo. But still, some people don't know how to make no gumbo. I didn't have some pole gumbo before.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
All right, man. So it's been a lot happening in this band world. A lot's been going on, and so I actually want to jump right into it, man. What's up to everybody who's already in the chat? Remember, I don't care what you're talking about. Whatever you say, you can say whatever you want to say. That doesn't bother me at all. But if you want anything read on the page, you can always throw the super chat to us, and we'll get you up here. We'll have a conversation about that. That is no problem at all. All right, let's go ahead and get ready to jump into it. So, first of all, I want to go ahead and start with the topic that was really big this past week. As you all know, or if you don't know, you've been living under a rock. Donovan Wells decided that he wanted to put a letter out, and it's been going through all of the channels and all of that. One thing that stood out to me was about this whole band is not a sport thing. Don't get me wrong. It was a lot more things that came out, but I decided to go ahead and have a conversation about it. And I'm going to put what I said about it. And then after that, I want to get Quan's view. I also want to get your thoughts in the comment section, and we'll have a further discussion. So here we go. So I'm going to take my years of getting my master's degree, and I'm going to do the thing that I was always told to do when you were challenged with something. I'm going to research. So let's research together. Let me pull this down. I got to make sure that people understand there are some things that can be by opinion, and then there are some things that prove themselves to be true. Let's read together. Definition of a sport. I spelled definition wrong, but we're going to keep going anyway. An activity involving physical exertion. Do you not have physical exertion? Hold on. Let me make sure. Exertion, physical or mental effort. So let's backtrack. I'm not even going to talk about everything that you have to do in preparation for a field show. I'm just going to talk about the field show itself. Now, I think they moved it down to about, 8 or 9 minutes? Physical effort, high knee lift, energy, heart rate up. Even if you're talking about core style, because real core style marching is hard, okay? And mental effort, meaning if I have to process my drill and my music and all at the same time, that is physical effort. Let's go back. And skill, it takes skill to do this. Can the skill be taught? Absolutely. Just like any sport in which an individual, one person, or team, full band, competes. Competes. Did I miss something? Let's look up the definition. Strive to gain or win something by defeating or establishing superiority over others who are trying to do the same thing. Do we not, A, during halftime, compete against the other band that is performing? Our idea is to create a superiority over the other band. Wait a minute, let me make sure. The state of being superior, being over someone. Is it not our thought process that when we go to halftime or when we go to showcases, that we are trying to be superior over another band? Yes or no? Is our idea that we want to defeat the other? All right. So if you all didn't know, that is from Halftime Headlines, which goes live. We go live Friday night or Friday mornings at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. And that gives everybody the availability to come in and talk shop with me. But let's talk about it for a second. Let's just really put it out there. Let's go ahead and put the question out there, Quan, and I'm gonna go ahead and ask you: is marching band a sport?
I mean, it is. It is, and you should have been a lawyer. Shit, being honest.
Hey man,
Never too late. Never too late.
I know where my wheelhouse is, man. You know, hey.
Yeah. It is, but how can I say it? All right, let me just put it like this. It is, by definition of what you just said, it is number one. So we agree upon that. And it's crazy because a few years ago, there was a video, news reporter or article dealing with the Blue Devils, dealing with Brandon. You remember the Blue Devil Brandon? He was like 12 years old, like a young drumming phenom. And they highlighted him, but then they was just saying that overall, that the marching arts should be considered a sport, because of the exertion and all the things that you said. Because they were saying like your heart rate after a show goes almost to like 100 and I think 60 beats per minute. So that's like running on a treadmill, right? So we agree from that point of view of physical exertion, competition, scoring, adjudication, yada yada. The and just a few years ago, we used to have a web page that was like marching sport, right? That used to be the hot thing as well.
Still a thing? Is it still open?
Yeah. It's just YouTube. It's just YouTube now.
Fair. Okay,
But I remember at the time it was web based, and I think Bookman was on it, and like it was a forum question, like really before its time, but was live, right, for the band heads before bandhead.org, and like marching sport was a part of that culture.
All the other
just
things,
like 8 to 5 and all that. So I'm saying all this to say At one point, we wanted to be considered a sport because we felt like being considered a sport brought more credibility to the marching arts. That's number one. Because that's why we were saying that halftime is game time. That's why we were saying things like that. We were saying like we matter just as much as the football team. Everybody that's in band literally had said we practice more than the football team. We practice harder than a such and such team. And that's why we're good. And so we emphasized that. So we did want to be compared with sport or looked at as a sport because it brought validity, credibility, and put us on the same platform and gave us value, right? Now, I mean, just from the comment of Mr. Donovan Wells, it's like we're looking at the comment like he's saying it's not a sport. I get why he's saying that now, though. I understand the context of what he's saying. I feel personally that his context was in regards to ESPN. Number one, ESPN is a sports channel. But number two, I also feel like, honestly, at the end of the day, he's upset at the process of ESPN giving the gravitas of selecting or adjudicating a band in a sports-like manner when subconsciously or sneakingly, I would say, we know that the process is skewed. So I really feel like it's not what he said, but it's what he's implying behind closed doors, if that makes sense. So we all know that marching band is a sport in itself. We exert ourselves. We got to be in shape. But I think his intention of what he's trying to do behind closed doors is different. I think that same thing for Jackson State. I think they put those letters out because they realized, say, bro, at the end of the day, we didn't tell y'all to judge us, but y'all judging us. And then from a week to week basis, nothing is clear. And at the end of the day, outside of getting the trip paid for, what is the real benefit?
So that's an interesting perspective. And you said a lot of things that we can definitely go into, but that's an interesting perspective in the sense that you were referring to the fact that he was only, or he could have been coming from the mindset of the fact that because it's ESPN, we're not a sport. Right. Mm-hmm. So I think that's a good thought process. But one of the things that was interesting to me and it's kind of why, I got into the idea of realizing or trying to talk about the fact that it's a sport. It is or is not a sport because there's a lot of people out there who really feel as though it is not a sport. Just in general context, people believe that it is not a sport. Mm-hmm. And so that's where the comment came from, or that's where me really digging into it came from, because, I say it all the time. I look at my comments. I look at the comments on everything that we do. And a lot of people were like, I cherry picked things from the definitions to be able to justify that it's a sport. My argument is this. The only reason why it's not classified as a sport is because the powers that be, those who make the decisions in whether the high school sports arena or NCAA or whatever, make the decision and have made the decision for years that we don't classify it as a sport. Therefore, people just accept it for not being a sport. Hence the reason why I had to go back to the definition, because there are even people who say band is an art form and therefore is not a sport. But
go
ahead.
Now I was trying to see. I thought that was a pause for me to rebut. I'm just trying to, give you the whole floor.
That was just kind of pause for dramatic. Anyway, but no. So my then question is, if that's the case, then how does the Olympics determine certain things are a sport versus what isn't a sport? Because there are some things that are judged in category as a sport in the Olympics that take less effort than what it takes for marching band.
I mean, we just had a breakdancing
exactly
Olympics. I mean, so yeah,
that's my point, right?
Yeah.
So that's where my thought process comes from. Go ahead, you got it, brother.
I mean, bottom line, it's a marching art, but it all goes back to the origin of what it was created for. We can't dismiss that either. Marching bands was constructed from the point of view of a hype squad to help and motivate the football team.
Correct.
That's what it was.
Correct.
So you can't, I understand evolution, but sometimes you have to go back to the origin of what it was for. We have to understand what drilling up and down the field was. All of those things were for the sense of entertainment. John Philip Sousa traveled the country and world for the purpose of entertainment. That is your first concepts of marching band around those times. Stars and Stripes, all of that, Washington Post. That what it was for. It was for the aspect of patriotism and entertainment. So you fast forward over years, the closest thing to a sport that we have was a committee of individuals that created DCI, so forth and so on. And that's a great question. Why is cheerleading a sport and not marching band? Because those powers that be, and this is what I was going to finish and say, the powers that be as a committee gathered together and said that this is what we're going to consider a sport. Bottom line, we can't even gather together to have an adjudicated band competition. And I'm only speaking about the black world. I'm only speaking about our culture. We can't get together and be like, hey, this is the traditional show style, whatever league. And we're based off of universities because honestly, this ESPN concept could have been done, honestly, eons ago. All we had to do was just get together. But because we have an ego, this is the truth. We have an ego. We don't want nobody judging our shit. That's just the truth, in my opinion. So that's why we can't be considered the sport, because where is the winner? The winner in these competitions when it comes to marching band for us in our culture is opinion driven. It has no rubric. It's not based on tangible things like this is your rubric. This is what we're looking for: visual effects, dance routines, straight lines, creativity, energy in step. We're not based off that. So now we're just highlighting emotion, and y'all know you got some field shows that was trash, but because I'm bandwagon, I'm gonna ride with this team. That's not a sport, bro. It's not a sport. Even the WWF back in the day when we was up, the WWE now, but the WWF, the referee had to count 1, 2, 3 to do what? Declare the winner. That's all I'm saying, bro.
So basically, what it feels like you're saying is that people more often than not nowadays classify marching band as to be not a sport based off of feelings, not grounded in logic and truth.
In our sector, again, in our sector, it's like I think one of the things that we get misconstrued with us, because we're advocates for DCI because not just because we worked in that sector, but we see the other side, and we're individuals that's like, hey, I'm willing to see both sides of things, right? And before I make a judgment, the reality of it, DCI has a rubric. DCI has judges. Like, people may not like UIL. Is it subjective? Absolutely. Absolutely. But do you know what you're walking into? Yeah. Yeah, you do. Because the rubric is in the hand. Now, do I like all the time some of the outcomes? No. But it's still a rubric. It's still there. So I don't know, bro. You know what? I never thought about this. Some of the disposition that we have in high school marching competitions is the same one I feel like some of these college band directors have too.
But where do you think we get it from?
I mean, we
And
get it
I'm
because
saying that, and I'm not saying that to it's kind of rhetorical, right? Because to me the answer is we look up to the college. If we look up to the college, then our mindset is going to be kind of driven based on what our favorite band's favorite band does. And so if they look at it and they look down on it, or they look at it as, well, this ain't important, or to some degree, some people look at it as this, that white stuff, then how you think, you know, we look at it from a high school perception.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I agree, but it falls down to egos though, bro.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I don't disagree with
that. Like, can you imagine if Honda actually was adjudicated though? Like if it really was, and people was like, this is your scores. This is what we feel like you did. And I feel like ESPN was trying to do it, but I also feel like the ESPN, how they put it together, like the blueprint is really already there and already done. But we know, and I know that there are things behind closed doors that are happening that is like, I won't say unethical. I won't go that far, but I will say it's bamboozling. I'll use that word.
All right, so let's go ahead and pick that up, man. So I mean, you've really started hinting at the band of the year, so on and so forth, and I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna stand on the ground that band is a sport, marching band specifically, but I want to definitely move into this category because you're really picking it up a lot, and we want to slowly slide into this band of the year thing. But I do want to ask you this: do you think Bethune and Jackson are justified, and them being able to pull out and then asking for them not to be considered, not to be put on the ballot, not to be judged, so on and so forth?
Yeah, I do, because it's their right and autonomy 1st. But then number 2, I feel like everybody knows now what it is. Like you and I know because we attended certain meetings and heard these people. We heard their justifications behind how they pick. So the thing about it is, you could not want to be in the competition, but your name's still gonna be on the ballot. We know that now. So then we heard one explanation that you got to send in tapes, but they're gonna judge you anyway. What video they're gonna judge you on is predicated on the committee. So one hand wash the other, 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other. So what they're basically saying, don't judge me at all. I don't want to be involved at all. So take our 2 names off and put somebody else in that slot for who wants to go there. I think they have that right and they have that autonomy. And if they don't want to be affiliated with it, then they ain't got to. Now, I will say this though. It's crazy because didn't Jackson win it one year?
No, they didn't win it. It was them and what was it? Them and A&T, and I think A&T won, if I'm not mistaken.
Or was it that Dion was already playing in the Celebration Bowl and it was already down there?
Talking about last year?
Nah, it wasn't last year.
It was one of them years they were already down there. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that was one of the years. Now they lost the Celebration Bowl, but I think they were already down there, and everybody was basically saying like, how can I say it? It was like it was FAMU, it was JSU. That was the year Florida Memorial won.
That was the year. Wasn't that the same year as the 50 year of hip hop joint?
Yeah. I believe so, but I can't recall who won, but I know they were in Atlanta. Now, either they were in Atlanta for the ESPN Bowl, and y'all in the comments help us be researchers today. Go and look that up. Um, yeah, JSU and NCAT was the first battle, but NCAT won, right?
Yeah.
So if NCAT won, it's crazy that it's like, and I get it. It's like you want to go that far, but it's like now you discrediting it. So it's like like what it really is, bro.
So I'll respond to that, but then I have another question to pose to you here. So the way that I kind of perceive it is, some would say that they felt or they believe that the reason why they're going against it at this point is because of the fact that they didn't win. My argument or my possibility or my thought process in that is they participated in it to see what it was about. They said, all right, this is something different. This is something new. I'm probably for adjudication, so on and so forth. Let's give it a shot. Let's see how it goes. And then after everything went down, they took a step back and maybe as a staff made a decision and said, you know what? While this is a cool thing, there are some things that after going through the process, I don't know if I necessarily agree with. And so I'm going to wash my hands of it at that point. That's the perception that I take from it. I don't necessarily know if that is the truth. I mean, I don't think any of us know what the truth is except for, Dr. Little and the staff that's there. But I do believe that there are two sides to the coin on that perception. But let me go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, at the end of the day, I think, first of all, participating in this thing or not, that doesn't take away from Jackson State's greatness. Like, that doesn't take away their greatness. That doesn't take against BSU tradition and lineage. Can I be honest? It don't affect them in no way whatsoever, in my opinion. People still gonna go to BCU. People still gonna go to Jackson. Mm-hmm. They the ones that really don't need that type of publicity. Honestly, they really don't need it. They're like the independent record label that don't need a distribution deal. They got it, right? Mm-hmm. So I just look at it like from this point of view. I just feel that the credibility, bottom line, we're not speaking about is band or sport or nothing like that. What I'm saying is I just feel like the credibility of this particular battle of the band or competition has gone out the window. Year one, we was excited. We had a whole bunch of questions. Year two, we was like, hey, they're going to fix it. And now we're in year three. And now the directors are saying, nah, I ain't with it. So I feel like the momentum that they had, I feel like they lost it at this particular point.
Okay.
From the adjudication competition, because you're judging some schools that got flags and the other ones don't. Then you judging a dance team, but this week they ain't do no different dance routine, but you still getting judged. And then these scores come out in a different way. You know what I'm saying? Like, this school, they do features, this school don't. But we're going to say that. So how are you judging it? Are you judging it, 3 cadences each in the stands or?
Well, before you go too far in it, because I definitely will say that you're going way far ahead before we even get to that. We definitely have to tackle that and all of the points that you're talking about. So I don't want to get your brain too far on that while we're still kind of on this one because we're definitely going to jump into that. We're definitely going to jump into that 100%. Here's the thing. Here's a school of thought that I've gotten. So a lot of people are saying that they believe that the band of the year is basically following what's called the fair use clause, right? And basically what that means is as long as we put it out for public consumption, that means that we have a right to be able to take and, whether we make comments on it or whether we make any we use that footage to be able to make comments or statements or judge it in some type of way. And so because of that, they will always have the availability to use that footage because it is put out to the masses on the YouTube spaces. I don't know if you've heard that or not. I don't know if anybody else has heard that or not. But just wanted to get your thoughts on that. Do you think that because of that clause, that band of the year still has a leg to stand on, or do you feel like JSU and Bethune should still be justified?
I mean, nah. I mean, the committee can use fair use all they want. But if the leaders was like, "Hey, don't put our name on it. Don't put our name on it,"
Mm.
and then I feel like the culture will stand with them anyway. So at this particular point, they don't want to be a part of it. They're not a part of it. So here's the crazy thing: as a committee, if you don't take them off, but you keep giving them scores, people are gonna be like, "Nah," because they're not going anyway. So, can you imagine somebody not being in a competition and still win?
Well,
That
I
don't
don't,
even make sense.
and I think that's the thing, right? I think that at the end of the day, I don't think that they're going to allow them to win.
Right.
So I think that's the thing. One of the arguments that I have against this whole fair use thing, and I in undergrad had to take media law, so I knew and understood that idea and that concept. I think one of the problems that we end up running into is you take something like band and you have something, as far as band directors and so on and so forth. It becomes a slippery slope because of the fact that anything that we do, anything that we participate in, even when we're talking about from middle school, is all processes that we specifically sign up for to be adjudicated, right? Even when we're talking about a showcase, but we're not going to go that far. When we talk about the free rankings that people randomly do, right? Like the rankings that people do, people use that as a way to justify the whole fair use clause. Like, because people will say, well, you're able to be ranked, but you don't want to be adjudicated, which for me, I think it's odd. But I want to be able to speak to all sides in this moment. So my thing is, when you talk about a band director, when you talk about band ranking, when somebody randomly just ranks you, right? That's based on public perception, your personal opinion, so on and so forth, right? And a lot of times we don't take much stock in it. Like we look at it, we be like, all right, cool, that's dope. We number one. All right, we move on. But from the band world, when you say that you're going to be adjudicated, that rings off and fires off different bells in our brain. Because now in our brain, you're looking at us for a specific standard. We're being scrutinized to the T. That matters to us when we start thinking about, if you've been a high school band director, you've been a festival, or you've been to UIL, like all of those things matter. And when you throw the idea of adjudication out there, now we got a problem when you're saying you're going to judge us anyway. And so, in my opinion, when we start thinking about that fair use clause, it becomes a slippery slope, because this was the exact same example that I gave to someone else. By that logic, no high school band needs to go to festival, right? Because I can go on YouTube and look at Cedar Hill.
Right.
I can go on YouTube and look at Worthing. I can go on YouTube and look at Duncanville. I don't need to go to festival based on the fair use clause, right? But we still, when we use the term adjudication, take that seriously, and that's something that we elect to sign up for, to be adjudicated, to be placed in that light, because we hold the term adjudication higher, at a higher standard than just we gonna rank you and keep moving. What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, everything that you're saying is spot on. Like, but if we're gonna keep it 1,000, shit, there may not be a lot of traditional show bands that actually want to go to marching festival or concert and sight reading. If that wasn't tied to our money, would we really go?
Nope.
So I mean, like the difference between them colleges and us, the colleges they have that option. Now they may not can play a lot of songs in the stadium at their home game because the DJ playing, but they ain't gotta go to competition unless they want to. And we've also created a culture where everything is an exhibition. Everything's an exhibition. This was the first one that was close to, yeah, I really want to have an adjudicated score. But the problem is this though, the scores, the system sucked. I mean, this bottom line, it sucked. It wasn't like it wasn't like I'm not gonna give them the game on here because we didn't talked about like how you could set up a team and do this and blah 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 and yada 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 and have the this and and bapu bam and you flip it like this. Like we know the game because we've seen both worlds and we actually know how to make it work. That's the difference. You have and I've seen the committee of adjudicators. A lot of them I don't want to say that they're outdated. It's definitely not, because I'm not trying to diminish anybody. But I feel like at the time that they taught is like maybe past. So it's kind of like when you that old head, like for example, everybody know I'm really hype about this No Limit Cash Money versus that's coming up. Straight up Cash Money is on me.
Better that was a thing? That was real?
It's about to happen next Saturday. Yeah, that's a real thing.
I thought it, I don't know what AI is versus real no more. I can't.
No, it's a real thing.
Gotcha. So, okay, all right.
So my thing is this: everybody in my circle, they like Cash Money on No Limit. Now my brother, he like No Limit. Like he's like No Limit gonna win. I'm like Cash Money, but we also arguing what version of Cash Money we gonna get. We're going to get original Hot Boys or we're going to get Drake and Nicki in them. That has validity, right? So when you're adjudicating something, when your eyes is, well, I'm going to be like No Limit, sometimes we're human, we're subjective, we have partialities, we have preferences. Are you looking for the style that you like? Or are you judging it not from a non-biased place for what it is? Also, well, again, I don't want to give the game for this competition because there's so many ways to fix it. It's so many ways to actually make it right. And the difference is with DCI and us, them colleges can't tour. But if you ensure, hey, these are a few games we gonna pick out. Hey, if you have a class, yeah. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
But don't do it. Yeah. My bad, bro. My bad.
No, you good. You because you getting into passion, and ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But yeah, I know where you going. We've had this discussion before. No. We don't do that over here.
Ain't nothing free. Ain't nothing free. No.
But no, I don't necessarily disagree with anything that you said. And I do want to kind of jump on that real quickly, right? And I'll use this analogy. You a church brother. Mm-hmm. You got an old church and you got a young congregation, right? The old church and the young congregation, and they are singing Shirley Caesar every Sunday. But on an average, this young congregation is listening to Todd Galbraith, right? So they go to the pastor, huh?
Lord, you are good.
Yeah. So they go to the pastor and say, hey, I love the church, I really do, but we got to get some, better speakers in here. We got to get some updated music. We have to get stuff that resonates with us. That doesn't make it less gospel, but it has to resonate with the people that are in the room, right? So the pastor goes back, and he goes and buys new speakers, new sound system, LED screen, all the new stuff. But they still singing the same old songs. And then the congregation's like, wait a minute. This still doesn't resonate, and then they be like, "Well, I bought the new sound system. That's what you asked for, right? Mm-hmm. Right. The new sound system sounds great, but the old songs are still being played. So it still doesn't resonate with us. The LED screen is nice, but Shirley Caesar, we not even in the same space. That's kind of what this reminds me of. That's the best way I can think about it.
But I mean, so again, because it's subjective, it's like, again, I can't, I just gotta try to see it, but it's like there's so many gaps
Yeah, I
in
agree.
the adjudication process
I agree.
to where it's almost like, if this was fixed, if that was fixed, if this was fixed, if we would sit down with all the band directors and truly go through it, man, it'll be so much better. But nobody want to hit it. Also, the lack of sponsorship also matters too. Yeah, we got, what is it, Red Lobster now? Cool. Here's the thing though. Cool, Red Lobster, black. What is it? He the CFO, I think now, something like that. Like, cool. Shout
Yeah.
out to him. You know what I'm saying? But also, I must say this though, they also need music sponsors. Yamaha, Dynasty, whoever. They need them too. Like, I think, if I could be honest, sometimes as our people, I feel like we think too small. Gotta think big, think big, think big. Like, I just feel like we think really small when it comes to this.
When you said that, it really made me think about Doug Funny, but go ahead. I don't know if you remember that episode of Doug. You don't know what Doug is?
Yeah, I know what Doug is, but what happened though?
The episode where he said, I'll pull it up, but go ahead.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, bro, I just feel like we really don't think as big as what we should. I just feel like we're not truly highlighting the things that we can do at this level. Like, our following is a cult following. You have bands in the Philippines that are emulating us, and you don't have a music sponsor. How that go? You're telling me Dynasty doesn't want to sponsor? Yamaha doesn't want to sponsor? You telling me that this can't be advertised publicly on ESPN? I don't know, bro. I don't get it. I don't get it. You telling me them kids can't get new drums out of this? That the ones that participate? When you're telling me the Blue Devils from California, they get new instruments every year, use them for the tour, and then give them back to the people.
Some of them they give away.
Some of them they give away. Some of them they go back. They sell them. They chemically clean them, and then they be like, "Yeah, the Blue Devils use these." Because I remember one year, Miles College, I believe, got some Blue Devil horns. I know one year, Langston, the drums Langston got was from the Blue Devils. So it's like I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just think bigger than that. Like, it's. I just feel like some of the people who in them rooms not selling themselves, because everybody that say, "All right, we're gonna do this ESPN thing. All right, we need new uniform from Stanberry. We need new uniform from, what is it, Dublin or Doolin? I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's like, we need new uniforms for us to advertise. Okay, we gonna participate in this. Give us 100 and whatever yada yada windsuits to advertise you. Like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. You have not because you ask not. I just don't understand.
All right, so before we get into that, man, I'm really upset that you don't even know what this is, man. This is
hold on. This says do the members pay to perform? They absolutely do. They absolutely do. But here's the difference though. They absolutely perform, but people don't see all what they get though. Like, it's a lot they get that's for them. And I have to say this from the experience of touring of what they do in that world and that sector. Let me be clear: if you say that you're a Blue Devil, you can get a music job wherever you want. That's just how it is, bro. But go ahead, show me Doug Funny, bro.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed in you and the fact that you didn't know what that was. Not to mention the fact that I do want to shout out my good brother Dante Chambers, who knew exactly what it was. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull it up. But man, that just hurt my whole feelings, man. You ain't know what that was.
Calm down.
What?
Calm down.
Why I gotta calm down, man? Why I gotta calm down? I'm upset with you, brother. I'm upset.
Don't be.
Bang it. On the trash can, bang it. On the street light.
Think big. Think big, think big, think big.
One little voices.
Think big.
Ooh, yeah. One little voices.
Big.
I know what it is.
I'm really upset, man. It's all right though. It's all right. It's probably because you're younger than me. That's what it is. Let me ask you this, man. And you kind of nailed it earlier, but I do want to kind of really get into this. So when it comes to the band of the year, obviously we know that Bethune and Jackson have basically stated they're not necessarily interested on wanting to continue to be adjudicated or participate in it. You know, I don't necessarily see FAM benefiting off of it. I don't see anybody, honestly, when we talk Div 1, for the most part, truly participating in it. Or not participating in it, but benefiting from it. Mainly because most of the people in Div 1, they got their fans, right? If Jackson went there and they lost, which they did, Jackson's fans still gonna be Jackson fans. FAM's fans still gonna be FAM fans. You know, Alcorn fans still gonna be Alcorn. Valley fans, but I don't necessarily feel that way when we start talking the Benedicts, you know, the Virginia States, the Florida Memorial. So do you think that Band of the Year benefit the smaller programs more than the larger programs?
Well, I'm. Yeah, yeah. Let's just call it what it is. Yes, I'm gonna tell you why. It's no different. I look at it like this. I'm not gonna hold you. I look at it like the the ticket people. The ticket people are coming to see the large bands. Um, but the smaller bands are trying to recruit.
Mm.
There's certain schools right now, being honest, don't have to recruit. We're gonna name them: Jackson, Southern, FAMU, North Carolina A&T, Texas Southern. Those five, respectfully, don't have to recruit. That's no order.
Did you say Southern?
Yeah, I
Okay.
said Jackson State Southern, Texas Southern, North Carolina A&T, and FAMU. They don't have to recruit. If they never went on a recruiting tour, they wouldn't have to. They still would get their members. I believe they still would.
So you're
Everybody
saying,
else, unfortunate. Mhm.
so I got to ask this question. I mean, I'm not trying to cut you off because I wanted you to get your thoughts off. So Norfolk, Alcorn, Bethune, uh,
Put Bethune in there. That's
okay.
six. Put Bethune in there, in that
Okay.
list. I just said.
All right. So everybody else outside of them has to recruit. All right. Got it. Go.
Yeah. Everybody else, they do have to recruit, and I feel that I'm looking at it. It says fam got money for the BOT, but the school misused the money. Well, I'm not even speaking on that, but I'm just saying overall, when you really like think about it, like bottom line, those schools now have built up and created pipelines to where, I'm just being honest, it's like they're your kid's favorite band. They are. So I got kids in Houston that's in my band that's like, I want to go to Jackson. I don't know where you saw them because you never saw them in person, but you want to go there. That's kudos to the media teams that they have and how they've presented themselves on the masses. Every other school may not have the scholarships, but everybody else has to recruit intentionally. It's almost like those 6 bands are the light and everybody else has to fight. It's like they're light and everybody else mosquitoes. So it's like they're attracting it. Think about it. Jackson State, their 5-year run is amazing, bro. They did the ESPN Battle of the Band. They did Rose Bowl. They did what else they did? They do the Boombox Classic. They do the Boombox Battle of the Band now. So you got to put Southern and Jackson State in that same category. It was Jackson State, it was Norfolk, and it was Southern that did Rose Bowl, right? So, I mean, like, so we know they travel. We see Jackson State travels and goes to away and home games now. At one point, you remember how you had to pick a school that there was a few schools that honestly went home and away. So they do that. Texas Southern, they went to California for something because my student was like, they're in California. They're also picking these schools to play against a PWI, at least one in a year. So they're doing that. So they're able to travel. Southern played LSU. Grambling played Ohio State. I think one of them went to like Mississippi State. So Southern went to what is San Jose to California. So like they're traveling. So everybody takes that into consideration. Who gets invited to Honda, no matter if it's in California or Atlanta. So you're going to look at those schools. So those 6 schools, every year they're invited to something. I don't care if it's the Pepsi, right? I don't care if it's the Honda. I don't care if it's Rose Bowl. I don't care if it's the Dollar Watson Classic. They're traveling, and kids are paying attention to that. And kids are smarter now to basically be. And now we got the Mississippi thing that's just been accepted this year. The Labor Day Classic in Mississippi. Look who went there. So, man, them kids ain't dumb. They want to travel and they want that bread. They were smarter than us. If we're going to be honest. They were smarter than us.
Oh, that was the period? My bad.
Nah, that was it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, but all in all, that, in my opinion, plays into the Jackson and Bethune argument, right? Because what you're saying ultimately is that the smaller groups that participate in Band of the Year need the visibility, they need it for the recruitment efforts, so on and so forth, right? If we just go with the top 6 bands that you just named, the top 6 bands literally are just the marquee. They the headliners.
They the Drakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that plays into their arguments because now it's like, well, don't use our name and our likeness with the crowd, with the possibility that we may be picked to show up so you can fill your seats just so that the smaller bands can bring visibility to their program. That's ultimately what you're saying.
I'm saying that, but I ain't saying that. Because you said it a little more harsh. I wouldn't have said it like that. I'd have had a little more seasoning on it, a little more tender love and care on it. You just rough with it and aggressive.
Yeah, you gotta get it done to get it out the way. You know,
Nah, you didn't warm that thing up at all. What I'm saying is,
sometimes you got to warm it up, but sometimes you just got to go and make your sandwich and go to sleep.
oh, we talking about sandwiches? My bad. All right, so nah, I'm playing. Nah, I'm just saying I feel like situations like this are more beneficial for smaller bands. They get a free trip. We also have to think about the aspect of the budget. Prime example, look at the small bands that have blown up. So, can you imagine this year if Virginia Union actually wins the small division band? Could you imagine if Fayetteville State, Albany State, if they win? Miles won the other year. So, look at the benefits from that. That's all I'm saying. It is about they get the most bang for their buck out of it. Bottom line, those 6 bands that I named, I mean, they it doesn't matter to them. You know what I'm saying? It's like they the big dogs on the porch. They've been knocking boys out for the last 10, 20 years. They have the support of their president, and it's just another notch under their belt.
I mean, I don't disagree with you. I'm, and I don't know if this is, me being biased or not. I don't necessarily think I have a bias. I don't, but I really believe that Norfolk should be put in that category.
Why?
Because I don't think that if Norfolk actually went, that it would make a big deal, in the sense of like, it'll bring a level of visibility to Norfolk that Norfolk doesn't have, because people know when Norfolk steps out, they step out pretty well.
Right.
Whenever they've been into the big spaces, they do a daggone good job of it. And people know who they are. People also know they don't travel much.
Can I tell you this? You know what Norfolk's problem is?
They don't travel much.
No, not just that. No,
they in the MEAC.
No.
They in Virginia.
It's not that. No, you gonna let me say it? Goddamn, boy! Like,
well, you asked the question. I'm giving you as many answers as I possibly can.
And you keep getting it wrong.
Okay,
wrong.
Well, then give me the right answer then.
Y'all are very humble and quiet. That's your problem. Being honest, you're very like reserved.
Keep going.
All right, put some meat on the bread. I got you. So here's the thing. Y'all are a band that is so that I love. That's old school. Put it on the field. Be quiet. We're not gonna be online. We're not gonna be here like that. Like, that's what type of program y'all are. Now I see the comment that says they don't see nobody. I feel like that has something to do with it. But from an aspect, look at a lot of the bands that are out there. Sometimes, not all the times, but to a degree, look at the outspokenness of their directors. You can't tell me, even though Fred, Kedrick Taylor, Dr. Taylor is a very humble guy in every sense, his persona is big, because the Southern University Human Jukebox persona is big. You look at Brian Simmons, outspoken. Dr. Little, man of very few words, but when he speaks, outspoken. You see what I'm saying? Like, when you look at that, you don't think so?
So I see what you're saying. Let me be very clear. I see what you're saying. I don't fully agree, because in more cases and more often than not, the examples that you gave of the directors, they're put in positions and on platforms to be able to speak in that manner, right? How many? Because think about it. If you use Dr. Little as an example, right? Mm-hmm. More often than not, he's not walking up to a camera and having those conversations or being asked to speak. People are going to him and being asked to speak based on the space that he's in, right? If you look at Ked, based on the band program that he is the director of, he's in a lot of spaces to where people are going to him and asking him to speak. The reason why you don't see much of Bethea is because they're not in the spaces to be seen. So
I disagree.
so there's
Yeah.
not that opportunity, in my opinion, to be able to kind of bump your chest a little bit. So that's the first thing. Hello, wait,
But they're
I
not.
want to get to both points. I want to get to both points
Right.
before you comment. The other
Okay.
thing is, I'm gonna be honest. I can't speak to the temperament of this version of the Legion, because this
Okay.
version of the Legion ain't my version of the Legion. I'm not saying that they're bad or good, but what I am saying is we were mentally a lot more aggressive than what I can outwardly see from this version of the Legion.
hmm
You know, we didn't care about popping off. And a lot of times Doc had to kind of hold us back. And that was during the days of the fifth quarter. He would constantly tell us, don't be going on there talking a bunch of mess. Meet on the gridiron, all that kind of. But we were a lot more aggressive, in my opinion, than what I see from, this version of the Legion. And I'm not saying that, it's bad or good, but based on what you're saying, that's the part I can probably agree with. But the other part about the directors, I don't know.
The reason why I say that, from what I've seen, and I like I say, I love just about everything that you have outside of the Latin beats all the time. Outside of that,
I'm
like
not
y'all,
MD, so I
damn,
can't speak to that.
like y'all damn near a perfect band. Like, and I'm not saying that because you're my friend and brother. I'm saying that because I really believe that discipline, structure, like so forth and so on. But my thing is this: the director's temperament is not to be out in front of the camera. How do I know that? And in my opinion, from what I see, again, I've only been a spectator of Norfolk through the lens of you and Portia and the people that I've met from Norfolk that's been around, right? They're not, that's not their temperament. Their temperament is we work hard behind the scenes and then we show you the product. Cool. So they're not even looking for the camera, because it's like people feel like they're reserved enough. Like, because if that's the case, look at Dr. Chipman. Dr. Chipman is a gentle giant. He's 6'12" and just be soft spoken, right? But it's like the attitude sometimes of the Rattlers as if we have arrived.
But that's because that is the spaces that they are continually and always inhabiting. We, as the Legion, I'm not even gonna talk from this generation. I can talk
Right.
from my generation. The only time that I remember having matter of fact, when we played FAM,
Mhm.
if you watched it or if you were there, the aggressiveness with that band in 03 and 05 wasn't because we just randomly decided to be aggressive. We were always aggressive, but we are never in most instances in those spaces to show that and be boastful in that manner. So because those are not spaces we normally occupy. For them, it's normal. It's a normal thing because they're swag. For FAM, when we talk about FAM, everybody was seeing FAM from the MEAC to the SWAC.
So
when they were back in the MEAC, so they were always placed in those positions and they were given the cachet to have this prestigious and kind of almost boastful persona about them, specifically from a director's point of view.
So then why? So in your opinion, why do you feel like NCAT can be like that now as the premier country's band?
So what do you mean by that?
Like, why? So then, if that's the case, because in those 6 bands I mentioned North Carolina A&T.
Uh-huh.
Right? So then, why do you feel like North Carolina A&T can be in that sphere with the FAMU?
Because if I can be perfectly honest with you, I didn't know what a North Carolina A&T was until I got to Norfolk.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I'm going to start it there. When I found out who they were, I also realized that back then they were already they during that time they had a swag persona anyway.
Right. They did.
So that mindset was already ingrained in them anyway. And when they played Southern, especially when people were saying that they got
I
Southern.
don't know. Yeah, they were like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that takes your mindset to a completely different space. Because you got to remember, at that time, Southern, it was, if you got toe to toe with Southern, you felt you had a reason to bump your chest.
Okay, so let's fast forward now, right? Let's fast forward. They went through their rebuild. We saw them in, I think, 07, 06, 07. No, 07 or 08. We saw them 07. Whatever. Angel City Classic. Rebuilding. We can, everybody on this show can agree now, this is a different North Carolina A&T. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would agree.
Okay, so different North Carolina A&T. My thing now is different North Carolina A&T. Why are they so marketable now than prior before? Because I'm gonna say this, not saying that they were bad before with the Aggie lean and all of that. Not saying they were bad before, but I feel like this A&T is way more marketable now than it was then.
So I think it's a couple of things, right? So the first thing I would argue is, one, your media team is going to play a big role in that nowadays, right?
Mm-hmm.
And neither me, you, or anybody else can deny that for years their media team has been pretty top notch. Are they Southern? No. Are they good? Yes. Between camera angles, souped up audio, you name it, they've been pretty strong as it relates to media. So you have phenomenal media that has been passed through the last, at minimum, 10 years. And then you take the already arrogant-esque attitude that they've had for a lot of years, and you couple it with that, they're only going to, in my opinion, be in a lot more spaces and be looked at a lot more. Versus, I can remember during my time, during the Legion, all we had was Steve. Shout out to Steve, by the way. All we had was Steve. We had recruitment VHSs and season DVDs. And, during that time when we had gym battles, a lot of gym battles, we would record the gym battles, put them on VHS, and then we pass them around. But outside of that, our stuff wasn't getting out there. So we don't have years of stuff and lineage of information that has been passed around that gives us the space and validity to be able to just walk around. Like, we're very boastful.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, specifically during my time, but I would definitely say that even these younger kids, they're boastful. The problem is they only boastful in Virginia. They ain't boastful nowhere else because they don't go nowhere else. You're not going to see, and then from a discipline perspective, you're not going to see a bunch of Legion people being boastful online. You're not going to see that. Now, if a Legion person met up with another person from another school, now that's a completely different conversation. So, yeah, I heard that. Get off of TikTok.
I'm
Uh,
not, bro. I'm killing apps, and I'm trying to research like what you're talking about.
what you mean? As far as what?
Like, like really, when was the change between Norfolk? Oh no, not Norfolk. NCAT. When did it really started vibing different? Like, I ain't trying to be funny. I feel like 2012 ish was like a resurgence, and somebody in the comments say they found a mic, but I don't know because honestly, NCAT has a completely different sound, but they have the same band director. Why? Like how you see what I'm saying? Like their sound is just different.
So yeah, their sound is different. I don't disagree with that. But I will also argue that again. I say it all the time. Their sound on the field is different than the ones in the stand. So, like I think that's the other half of that too, right? Like Norfolk and A&T, respectively, more often than not value the field more than the stands. So again, going back to the thing that I was saying, because your media team is so strong, you've been highlighting the change over to the new style for quite a while.
Mhm.
Not to mention the stuff that they were able to get out during the pandemic. And again, when you have very good, audio team where you can put some EQ in it, compression and all that kind of stuff, and all of the things that you can do to make you sound even better, and you've been pumping that out for the last 10, 15 years versus Norfolk, which their media team is just kind of still in the development stage. I'm not saying that they're terrible, but they're getting better. But they ain't nowhere near what an A&T is, and A&T's been that way for years.
Music changes too pretty. I feel you, bro. I feel you. See, I feel you. I would definitely put Norfolk in that category. I was just being I just we needed a debate. That's it. You know how we do it at least one time.
Well,
But I definitely will put Norfolk in that category of not having to recruit. But I'm gonna be real. Everybody else, uh, to a degree, we have to. I feel like Prairie View, and I'm gonna speak up for my school. Prairie View has to because there's things that are going on with Prairie View. That's a difference, right? We're speaking about admissions, interests, and different things of that nature.
they all they got, they all they need, brother. It don't rain on the storm.
Rain, sleet, or snow. Don't rain in the storm, hope. Just saying.
You don't want it
But
with the storm, hope.
yeah, you don't. But at the end of the day, I just feel like even I'm not being ugly. I don't know how Grambling get them numbers every year.
Lineage, history.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying. Because I ain't trying to be funny. I'm not saying Grambling. Grambling don't sound like Grambling.
Grambling sounds like and I'm just gonna say it. Because I definitely did. We definitely got another topic going, but I just got to say it. Grambling sounds like a euphonium section trying to get better that's surrounded by the rest of the band. Like, you know how you get like a really good player or a decently good player on a basketball team or any kind of like team, and then you
Hold
try
on,
to
bro.
build the team around them. That's what.
How do you sign language petty? Like, show me the signs, because you out of line for that, bro.
How? Like, have
You
you
out of
like
line.
no. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just trying to. I'm being honest because whenever I listen to Grambling, it always sounds like the euphonium section is trying to take over for the band, trying to outplay everybody in the band, and some days it's cohesion, and a lot of days it's struggle bus. But then they'll fill the band around that. And so sometimes it don't sound good.
So you telling me that Tuba's
I
not
will
good?
say this. I did hear them against Texas. Was it Texas Southern past weekend?
Yeah.
Now I'll say that they didn't sound too bad there, but I got to go back and listen because I was listening in passing. So I got to really put my ear on it.
Bro, you don't think that Tuba's good?
Silver Dogs, they all right.
That Tuba's not bad, dog.
They
That
cool.
Tuba's not bad.
They cool.
They're not.
I'll tell you. I'm gonna be honest. I'll tell you a tuba section that I just got finished listening to not too long ago. That's really good, and it's not taking away from the Grambling conversation. But if you haven't heard Florida Memorial's tuba section,
Yeah.
yo,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, they good. But yeah, they cool. They're definitely cool. And again, I'm not taking anything from them. I'm just telling you, when I listen, that's what I hear. So that's where I'm at. All right, man, let's go ahead and jump into this last thing, man. I don't know if you've seen them or not, and I'm going to have to refigure this and redo this a little bit. So bear with me here, but I have no idea. I think I'm back. Are we back? I think I'm back. Are we back? Are we back? I have no idea what exactly happened. That was not cool. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I think we back. Somebody tell me in the comment section if we back or if I'm just losing my mind here. And I'll wait to see what's going on. We back? All right. I don't know what happened. Apparently something happened and some things went down. But it probably was me. I don't know. It probably was me. I don't know. But we back in this thing. I don't know what happened to Quan. Let me hit him up and make sure he's good as we are mining this thing out. Let's get him back in here so we can have this discussion about these scores, because I did see the scores and it was interesting. Is that there we go. There we go. There we go. I don't know why it says. Let's see here. Yeah, that has never happened before. It is odd. There we go. All right, now everybody's back and everybody's back. Me, Quan, and the rest of the crew. Say something, brother, so I can make sure you're vocally clear.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. All right, cool. Okay, so let us look at these scores here. And we'll see what it's talking about. Woo! This is interesting. Quan is locked. I don't know why Quan is locked. Let me see why Quan is locked. There we go. Let's move him over here, and then let's really get these scores mined out. All right, there we go. So let's look at these scores. We have Division I, Florida A&M. Their previous ranking was number 4. 2 is Norfolk. Their previous ranking was 5. Number 3, North Carolina A&T. Their previous ranking was 1. Number 4 is Southern. Their previous ranking was 2. Number 5 is Jackson State. Their previous ranking was 8. Number 6 was Bethune. Their previous ranking was 3. Number 7 is Alabama A&M. Their previous ranking was 12. Number 8 Number 8 was Hampton. They were unranked previously. Number 9 is PV. They were originally number 7. Number 10 is Grambling. They still 10. Texas Southern is 11, and they are now 6, or they were 6, and 12 is South Carolina State, and they were originally 14. The asterisks by Jackson and Cookman are indicators that they do not want to participate. So there we go. That's what we have here. Let me get your thoughts on this. What do you think, man? Do you think these are accurate?
No. Because how does Hampton go from unranked to number 8? How does Texas Southern go from 8 to 11? And it says what it says. South Carolina State was what, 14 the week before?
South Carolina State was 14 the week before.
Yeah, like it doesn't. Again, like how do you jump that high? You know.
Well, here's a couple of things that I'm looking at just right off of this. You know, we're not going into the specific captions or anything like that, right? If I had to really put my mindset on what I've seen from these schools, and I don't know what videos they looked at. I don't know if people really sent them in. I don't know that. But I could not put FAM above A&T. I don't even see how you went from 1 to 3. Now, here's my reason and rationale for saying that. That is not saying that I think FAM doesn't drill well. That's not saying that I don't think that their sound is clean. I'm not saying any of that. What I am saying, and this is where you were bringing this up earlier, and you know, you were kind of getting into it, and I said kind of table it until we get to this point. The use of color guard in FAM's drills, not FAM's, A&T's drills, to me are phenomenal. Staging is phenomenal. Use of color in their silk is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
And that alone, to me, would put them above FAM. And that's not to say that FAM doesn't have flags, but what I will say is from an auxiliary standpoint, their usage to me within a drill is not as good as what A&T is. And so what kind of video or what videos did you watch that dropped them down from 1 to 3 and FAM from 4 to 1? I guess that ultimately is my question.
My thing is it week by week? What is it? We still don't know. We still don't know. Like, that's all I'm saying, bro. Like, it's every time we do this, it's almost like it's frustrating because it's like, dog, is it week by week? We got people that saying they turning in videos. We got people say they don't turn in videos. We got people say they use Fair Use Act. Are you looking every week to ensure that it's good? Or are we picking specific dates? Like everybody talking about the gospel show, but did you started ranking them the very first week for Pepsi? Like, I don't know, bro. It's like it's too many gaps. It's too many gaps for me.
Yeah, okay, from my conversation, it's not a weekly thing. I think they send it in for that month, and then they judge those videos that month. Now, what I will say is, if I'm wrong, I'll probably get a text message or a call. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, it is they send the video in, and that takes care of that month. Or they go scouring the internet. I don't necessarily know how that part works.
I'm just saying, bro. I don't know.
All right.
What if they do? I don't know. Because if they do the same, I don't know. If they do the same, I don't know. I just be having a lot of questions. But that's a big jump. 4-1, that's a big jump in anything. From being unranked to 8, that's a big jump. From Alabama A&M to go, shout out to Chuck, to go from 12 to 7. Like, what I'm saying is, we're looking at this system and we look at college football rankings, right?
Right.
You got to consider, for college football rankings, the strength of your schedule, your opponent. They also look at it as point system. How many points did your defense get? How many points did your offensive get? And all of those statistics, right? The gaps between all of these things are so large and vast. What I'm saying is, for Hampton to go unranked to 8, how many slots is there total? Apparently there's 12. Well, it's more than 12 because South Carolina State was 14. So how many gaps did they actually jump that far to be in the middle of the pack now? How many days, bro? I ain't hurting my eyes looking at that thing that close.
It's only showing 12.
So how did you get 14?
I'm going to assume that they got the higher numbers in their own spaces. That's my assumption. Is that the higher numbers are in their own spaces. Now, I'll ask this, and I don't know if this is a question. I don't know if this is a rhetorical question or a real question. Let me go back up here. Where does Virginia Union fall in? Is that Div 1 or is that Div 2, first of all?
That should be Div 2.
Okay. And then why don't I see them on here? Mm-hmm. Ultimately, what we're saying is Langston, Savannah, Albany, and Benedict, and Winston-Salem are all better than Virginia Union. And I'm not saying that they are or aren't. I'm just saying ultimately that's what we're saying.
I know, Lane. It's crazy.
What?
Looking at Langston and Savannah, I'm like, come on, bro. Yeah, come on, bro. Not crapping on Savannah at all.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. So understand.
But it's like, so I guess my mindset is this: if you put them two against each other, who you think gonna win against Langston and Savannah State? Drill land in the stands. Let's just, it's just me and you today, bro.
We don't count the stands though. They don't count the stands.
Okay, drill for drill. Langston versus Savannah. Who you going with?
I don't have an answer for that because I ain't seen Savannah in a while.
Okay.
I think last time I looked at Savannah was what, last year? Oh, let me see.
So I'm gonna go with Langston. That's what I'm gonna first go with.
Okay, that's fair. 1. That's fair.
All right.
But now, hold up, wait. Do you think you going with Langston because there's a slight bias there?
No. I've seen both of them. I know that in the show that one of them actually does drum features and whatnot. Like, so I'm looking at everything, and I've seen Savannah State. Shout out to them. Great job. And let me say, Savannah State, I don't know their recruitment and how they go with scholarship, but they consistently have a good band every year. And I don't know if it's the president's support or whatever. You know how stuff be behind closed doors. But what I'm saying, they have a decent band every year.
Yeah, I'm listening. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm watching a show.
Yeah, my bad. So if you got Langston versus Savannah, I'm gonna go with Langston. You put Langston against Albany State. This one, that's a tougher battle.
I agree.
Real talk. I'm going with Albany. If you put Albany and Benedict, being honest, I'm gonna go with Albany. You put Winston-Salem versus Albany, guess what I'm going with? I'm going with Albany. You put Florida Memorial versus Albany, I'm going with Florida Memorial. You put Florida Memorial against Fayetteville State, I'm going with Florida Memorial. It's like,
Bro,
why?
I'm sorry. I think Savannah is better than Langston.
Okay, cool. But guess what?
Because listen, I just watched about 1 minute and 30 seconds of they drill, and
Of whose drill?
Savannah's.
Okay, cool.
Now I definitely hear a better clarity in sound,
From where?
cohesion
Savannah?
in sound, huh? I hear a better cohesion in sound.
Right.
I see a cleaner drill.
Can I
And
say
I'm not
this?
talking about the type of drill. I'm literally just talking about, cleanliness of drill.
Now can I say this though? Skeegee should be up there, but I don't think there should be two.
That's fair. But who do
I
you
think
think should be
Skeegee-
two?
Florida Memorial.
Man. Let me throw this guy in here. We ain't seen him in like 3 years. So hold up. Let me get him in here. Cause he got his own stuff now. He said he don't mess with us no more.
Who's that? Justin?
Yeah. Hold up.
I ain't seen that boy in a long time, boy.
Right? This man going to cons and
famous.
everything else, man. He don't mess with us no more. What's going on, bro?
What's that, man?
I'm saying I just been busy, man. I tune into every band report, even though I don't agree with a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
I'm still locked in loose.
Hey. Cash Money, no limit. I don't hear nothing else.
That's not even a question, dog. Like it's not like Cash Money.
Cash
Come
Money.
on, Tom.
I'm trying to tell him Cash Money, dog. Hey, better get on me in the Navy, dog. I'm telling you.
Hey, do I need to step out for this? I'm just asking. I can give y'all to the room if y'all need to go have this conversation.
We on the same team.
Cash Money. I like No Limit, but Cash Money gonna sweep them people, man. It ain't close.
Hey, don't make me go get my chain right now.
No, this is what I just want to point out. Like, dog, it's nothing against Vanity here. But you know how everybody be saying like who videos y'all be watching and like what y'all actually looking at. This one instance where both of these bands they don't want to be judged, right? So what you just told me is that F what they talking about, we still gonna judge y'all. But you also told me that these bands didn't send in no videos for y'all to judge, quote unquote, since everybody's sending videos. You just told on yourself a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's just me. I thought every band sending videos that they won't get judged on. Am I right? That's how they get judged. If I'm wrong, somebody in the comments tell me wrong. But I thought that bands submit videos to get judged. I know if two of the bands say they didn't want to get judged, that means technically they didn't send in no damn videos. And how you what the rankings is? What Jack say that? What number they is?
I think it's what?
They number
8?
6. They're number 8. So they're above somebody who probably
they're
did.
5. Jackson is 5. They were 8.
They exactly. So they mean they above somebody else who quote unquote probably did send in a video. And y'all just had a point. My intern went to Virginia Union versus Winston. Love Winston down. They just sound good. But Virginia Union just put BTA on the people last week and had a decent finish show. And they're not on it at all. That's all I'm saying. I ain't calling out discrepancies in what they got going on, bro. But when people fuss about it, and when people say like, they just be picking shit. Just as a person who in the culture, I went to 3 homecomings in 24 hours last weekend. 3. You know what I'm saying? 3. Alcorn, Jackson, and fucking Alcorn and Grambling. All last weekend. All them records should be higher than that. You know what I'm saying? But that's another story for another day. I'm just saying, bro. As a person who do this week to week, out, in and out, it's just a lot going on that's not right. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like if we're gonna be fair to people who want to get judged properly, Bethune and Jackson should be, I guess, 11 and 12 by default. You know what I'm saying? Because they say they won't be in it. So that's
It
just
should
me,
be
bro. That's
unranked.
just me.
They should be unranked.
That's
It should be
people
unranked.
say they should. I didn't want to say it, but people say they won't be in it. They shouldn't be in it at all. But if y'all say y'all going off of people who quote unquote send y'all videos, right? And another thing too, that's back up last ranking. I was at NCAT versus Central when NCAT did they show, and then the next day they did the show in New York when they turned off all the lights. I was
Fire
also
show,
at
by the
Southern
way.
Fire show. I was also at Southern the exact next week when Southern did the red light special lights, right?
Mm-hmm.
And y'all took 2 different weeks and merged them together. Like, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying, bro? Better if y'all watching this, y'all, I wouldn't mind helping y'all. You know what I'm saying? But stuff to people who actually do this shit and pay attention and film it themselves, some stuff not right. It's just not right. It's just not right
But
off of
like,
what y'all say y'all doing it. So it's just me, bro. I
So
ain't trying to be
it's
messy.
okay, all
so
right. So we there. So we
first
there.
of all,
So
hold on, wait.
let's see.
Quan, go ahead. You got it. Go ahead. You got it.
Nah, I'll just say it like this. We were saying this last year because there were band directors that we're cool with that was telling us, "Hey, bro, we ain't never sent no video in, so we don't even know where the ranking come from."
That's what I'm
So,
saying.
but we were screaming that last year. Then we were screaming about the situation where a particular school wasn't picked because of quote unquote uniforms, but the year that they won it, they didn't have uniforms then. So that's all I'm saying, bro. It's like I just feel overall now the credibility of everything is a
Questionable.
wash.
Yeah.
Not
And
question,
and,
it's
and,
a
and
wash.
And when you look at when Mr. Little said he don't want to be a part of it because he won't determine his own narrative, I mean, if you telling us one thing and you doing a total another thing, I understand. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, people they gave Jackson a lot of flack because I was looking at it sideways too. Like, okay, y'all say y'all don't want to be a part after you competed and lost. I'm side-eyeing that. But then when I got to look at everything that's presented and how like these rankings are getting ranked and bands who deserve a first shot at this shit is not even on the list. Call Virginia Union what you
Like,
want to. They have a decent bachelor right now, and they sound good.
and
So
and
I'm
that's
just
what I
calling for what it is.
yeah. Like Virginia Union is not on I'm gonna be honest with you. Well, nah, because I'm gonna be giving them game again too. Because it's
I
a
got
way. I'm
another
gonna
one.
be
I
real.
got another one. I got another one that nobody ain't talking about. Central State kicking ass. Mr. Level over there came from Kentucky State. They kicking ass, but you don't see them, huh? You don't. I guess they ain't sending them videos either. Huh? That's why they ain't. That's why they ain't on the list. Man, come on, bro.
I'm
We
I'm
gotta. What
I'm
about
I'm, I'm, I'm gonna be real. I feel like they got too many bands. Real talk.
I've been said that. I've been said.
I feel like
Hey,
they
Vanity.
have too many bands, bro. Like you damn near need 3 categories. Honestly, like, and you literally need to go off of too much game. Be quiet. I'm just saying. It's a lot, bro. It's a lot. It's a
So
lot that can be improved in this thing right here.
so let me say
I'm gonna
this.
say it. Go ahead.
First of all, I appreciate you, Justin. I want to say it's about a year or two ago when I said, "Hey, bro, can you do me a favor? Whenever you record Jackson, could you get more of the drum majors and less of the dancers on Get Ready? Because they do the same thing." And you've delivered, brother. I appreciate you for getting J5.
The video of the
Specifically,
night going stupid on Instagram. You see that video with the alumni drum band? That's going crazy.
which one? The one with them at practice or the one with them
The March,
at the game?
No, the one Kelly got one at the game. I went to Alcorn, but they had something called the March Back, where all the alumni come back and march
Oh
back with
yeah,
them. Got the
yeah. I
whole
saw yours. I saw yours. Yeah,
That
yeah.
was crazy.
Yeah, I was so I saw somebody else's. I think it may have been Kev, but I was waiting for yours because I saw you was right in the front. So I was like, yeah, I was
Mhm.
waiting for your joint to drop. But no, I appreciate you, brother, because first of all, J5 fan, 100%. Hey, I'm not ever gonna lie about that. But secondly, like I always say, man, they be doing different stuff. But the other half of that is to my understanding, it's not just videos that are sent in. If they do not receive a video from a band program, then they go get a video from, it could be from you, it could be from A1, it could be from Kev, it can be from Showtime. So they go and get a video, and then they judge that video. If one is not sent in.
I wasn't aware of that. I thought that the bands had to send the videos. If I say correct me if I'm wrong, I wasn't aware of that. But I'm still saying, if two bands say they didn't want to be judged, like, come on, man. I don't know, bro.
Yeah, no, I don't necessarily disagree with that logic. If you tell me, or if I tell you I do not want to participate in said thing, then I should not be put in said thing. I agree with the just leave them unranked idea. However, the big however for me is, and it's been that way for about the past year or so, is if I don't send you a video, in my opinion, that's saying one of two things. I don't really want to participate, or I just don't have a media team.
Or I wasn't sending videos in before.
Right, but what I'm saying is both of those are an issue. Because if I don't send it in and I don't want to participate, then you fall in that category of what you're talking about, Justin, in the sense that you'll get a video that I have that I didn't choose to participate in, but you chose to rank it anyway, that may be ahead of somebody that actually sent the video in, right? So that's the first problem. But the second problem is, what if I don't have a media team and the only video that you can get is from either you or A1 or Showtime, and it's not to the quality of what somebody's other band's media team is, and I really want to be a part of it. So now I may be scrutinized because the quality of the video that I have may not be to the standard of someone else who may have souped up audio. Not saying not just put it on A&T. I'm just saying, because you have a media team, that could be a thing. So it's a problem on both ends, in my opinion.
Gaps. We've been saying that. It's gaps. You should get I'm not giving free game. Pay us. Pay us.
Yeah, I feel like I would love to be associated with Vanity and just like see if we could work together some kind of way or figure out something. But when the streets talking and the streets ain't liking what's going on, even like y'all know me, I care about the smaller band that don't get a chance. Like, and this is the perfect instance. Two bands say they don't want to be a part. Fuck it. Next two up, y'all get a shot at this. You know what I'm saying? And that should be done. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, bro. And to show simple and boring. I'm reading the comments, and that show was great. Y'all know what y'all talking about. But
see, that's the problem. The thing with this whole A&T thing is, I think that that's two different situations. I think that one, it's a situation of preference as it relates to drill type, and then I think the other half of that is just people being fans. I think those two things go hand in hand with the situation.
Here's the truth. Bottom line, bro, there's only a couple bands that are above the rest, and the gaps are large. I'm just saying. Like, when you're looking at this scene of bands, the Jacksons, the Southerns, the TSUs, those schools, the Norfolks, the gaps is large compared to these other bands.
I tell Snipes all the time. Every time I talk to Snipes, I say I feel like Miles shouldn't be a Division 2 band. This is me personally. I think they should be Division 1. Consider it when you're ranking on it, because a lot of times Miles, you'll forget that Miles is a college and not a university.
Or
Sometimes
college.
just off their
Yeah.
performance and how they be every year they're consistent. You know what I'm saying? But I guess all in all, I'm saying I'm not bashing what's going on at all. I'm just saying I'm starting to see what a lot of people been saying. You know what I'm saying? I stay out. I never even been to Band of the Year competition yet. You know what I'm saying? And I see the other side of the coin with this one example. You know what I'm saying? Like, dang, two bands told you they don't won't be a part. So it's next two band. It should be the next two bands up, correct? You know what I'm saying? To get those spots, at least to make the list.
I don't
So,
disagree. But let me play devil's advocate really quick. While there are a lot of people who, like you, like myself, like Quan, like all of us, who see some of the chinks in the chain, there are a lot of people who are still 100% gung ho with it. They value the scores that are given. They find them to be credible. So, like, what do you say to those people? Do you, or even what do you say to Band of the Year? Because if I'm looking at that version of the consumer, well, I'm just gonna go with what they're feeling then, right? So, do you think that we need to, or do you think that they need to just not focus on all of the discord and only focus on the people who actually care?
Nah, I mean, I think once again, I don't think that they doing anything wrong. I'm thinking just on the fairness aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? Pretty sure. Not saying that they judging criteria not credible. Not saying that the people they have in office is incredible. I guess it just was questionable. Is like you tell us one thing, but you end up doing another. You know what I'm saying? Or you tell us one thing, and two bands told you that they didn't want to be a part. So like you still wasted time adjudicating them. You know what I'm saying? When that could have been somebody else's spot. How many bands? 10 bands in the SWAC, right? And I know at least 6 of them had field shows last year, Division 1. I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, Luke, but let them do what they want to do. But I guess I see both sides of the coin now. Right now, I'm like, at first I was like, what's the fuss about? You know what I'm saying? Of course, we know that you can't. They're not sending somebody out to every damn game. You know what I'm saying? I know that. I'm at the 2-3 games a week. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like this system can be better because I agree with Quan. The credibility is like, I already just pick 4 bands and just tell them, let's bet y'all, it's y'all turn out there. It's y'all turn for the big pot this year. You know what I'm saying? And rotate those bands and actually have people thinking y'all judging stuff that people sent to y'all, and that's not the case. So I don't know, bro.
Bro,
Yeah.
you gotta have a marquee band. You gotta have a Drake or a Kendrick Lamar, and all them other ones is opening acts for them to draw in other people for recruitment. So it is what it is. They need a Jackson. They need a Southern. They need a Bethune-Cookman. They need a whatever top. They need a North Carolina A&T. They need a FAMU. And I guarantee you this: at the end of the day, those will be you're gonna see. It's either every year in that Division 1 it could be the same type of bands, either TSU, FAMU, Southern. Jackson State has removed themselves. It's gonna be a A&T or Norfolk or something like that. It's gonna be one of those that can draw and bring those type of bands in.
So what we're looking
You
at
will see.
right now is, I mean, just on these scores alone, FAM 1, Norfolk 2, A&T 3, Southern 4. How a band that said they didn't want to be ranked as 5, that's interesting.
Very much interesting. Very much interesting.
Because you got to think about how we hold top 5s anyway, right? Anything we
Right.
do is a top 5. Whether we talking about NBA, when we talk about NFL, we're always thinking top 5. And the fifth group on this list is a group that said, I don't want to be ranked.
Yeah. When it's a band like somebody like Grambling, I don't know if Grambling on the list, but I know for sure they'll be interested to have all the criteria to me a top 5 band based off of what y'all judging off of.
Right.
Basically, it's field shows, right? Grambling have some
I-
best field shows.
I actually feel that, bro, if to be in the Division One, or you should separate honestly the bands that have everything from the bands that don't.
What you mean?
Honestly, like, so what I'm saying is, to a degree, is like it's separated by category of size and category of size, right?
Mm.
My thing is, why don't you separate it for who has everything and who doesn't? Meaning, if you have flags, auxiliary, if you got auxiliary, you got dancers, and every band is basically over 100, so you can judge them by the same thing.
I mean,
Why sit up here?
Quan, only 2 bands I know that don't have flags. I only know 2 bands that don't have flags.
And so guess what? So then how are you giving them their just due?
That's what everybody was saying when Jackson lost the other year. The only 2 bands I know that don't have flags, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comment, is Southern and Jackson. I feel like everybody else has some type of flag, some type of, I guess, I won't say quint, some type of other auxiliary. Southern and Jackson are the only 2 bands I know for sure that don't have flags. Correct me if I'm wrong. Miles got flags. Norfolk got flags. A&T got flags. Everybody got flags. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
A&T has all-purpose girls.
Okay, but do they have a flag in their hand sometime?
They do.
What's the
Yeah.
simple?
That flag when they with the flag
They
in
do.
the hand, yeah.
They do. But see, here's a crazy thing, and I just look back at this again, just looking at those numbers. Jackson's 5, Bethune is 6. That
Who's
means
7? Who's 7?
A&M. So technically, A&M is 5th.
Who just had a bomb-ass homecoming show? Just
They did have a good show. They did have a good show.
All right, and they got 2 bands over them that didn't want to be a part. That's all I'm saying, bro.
By definition, A&M is 5th.
I don't know, man. I think I better you need to, bro. Just I don't know. I never been a part of it. I never been on a conference call. They said they have a Zoom call. I never got a link or email or nothing. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I would like to chime in and help out before I'm gonna say before it's too late, because people still gonna want to participate in this. I really think this can be so good to where you wouldn't have bands saying they don't want to be a part. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
But it needs to have some type of logical fairness in it.
I don't disagree. All right, brother. Man, it's good to have you. You know, you just so scarce over here, man. You know.
Man, I tune in sometimes to be busy, man. I'm an uncle now, man. I'm raising my nephews, man. So I gotta.
I feel you. Okay. All right. I ain't know. What's the next con you going to?
The next con, I'm going to Midwest this year.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. That's the next con. I ain't going to that con until maybe like Comic-Con in Atlanta. No, the one in Atlanta is Comic-Con Atlanta, and then I'm going to DreamCon again. I might go to BlurCon in March, maybe. I'm not sure, but yeah. I
gotta get to one. I gotta stop messing around and get to one.
You right there? You in Dallas, right?
Yeah.
Nigga, come to DreamCon next year.
Yeah,
you right here.
I've been wanting to. I've been phoning.
That's crazy. I'm looking at this now.
What's that?
There's you.
Oh yeah, it's going crazy, man. Look, you see those shares, bro? Come on, man. Yeah. I talked a long time these last week about some stuff, man. And then when this happened, I said, "Damn, bro, it ain't." What we talked about ain't too far off from what the letter was. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I'm gonna say this before I get off here. Ban, from my perspective, Ban is going to a place where, how I want to say it, Ban is going to a place that's unstoppable, that you're not gonna be able to stop it from going there, because the fan is the one that matters. You know what I'm saying? The fan pretty much, like Jackson got a cult following. You think Jackson fans care about Band of the Year? They still gonna pack the house no matter wherever they at. Bands are gonna be able to determine the narrative more than you think now. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I got that's a whole nother episode. But great show, Luke, man. Band is a sport. Just my opinion. Band is a sport. That's why I got that earlier. Band is a sport.
I'm with you. I ain't against you. I'm with you when you're right.
Yeah, man. So I don't know, but yeah. Other than that, I'ma holler at y'all, man. Shouts out to TSU and Grambling. I don't know y'all watch that. Go watch that
Yeah, I
fifth
watched it.
quarter.
I watched it.
They
I
ain't
just
playing no
said it.
game.
I just said it. They sound Gremlin sounded better
Man, listen. It was
because when
Grambling
they
had
was
some
against PV, I was like, I guess. All right.
Grambling had some moments you was like, wait a minute, hold on. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
They was against was the eyes off the crowd and 32 was come on, man. Come on. I don't know. But anyway, I don't need to hit them down. I'ma holler at y'all. You know, shout out to y'all in, man.
All right, brother.
All
Beasley.
right.
Yeah, man. This band of the year thing is interesting. But we're gonna keep having a conversation about it. I don't think that the conversations will stop, and I think when it all boils down to it, I think the craziest thing about it is any publicity is good publicity. And as long as we're having a conversation about it, as long as they're talking about it, then they're continuing to get publicity. And so, um, you know, at the end of the day, I've said it more than once, more than twice. I think at its core, I think the intentions are noble. Again, I think all of us are saying the same thing. So that's where I am with that. Oh, and real quick, shout out to what's his name? What's his name? Give me a second. I'm about to it's right on the tip of my tongue. And I can't even think about his name. Stephen Gaither. There we go. Shout out to brother Gaither over at excuse me, dry throat. Over at HBCU Game Day for dropping not only the rankings but also all of the information that they give with the band of the year. So shout out to him. They get the rankings first, and he's able to pass it along. So shout out to them as well. Let's get ready to get out of here, man. We've had a nice long conversation, and I like the fact that Quan is on his fall break because he has the time, because as soon as he's back to school, he ain't gonna have his time no more. So we squoze more than an hour out of him. So I'm glad that we were able to do that. So Quan, any final thoughts, brother? Anything you got for the culture?
Nah, man, just continuously pray for these band directors. Continue to pray for their protection. Keep them, as Bandtober going into the fall. Man, some of these band directors are really going through it. So just keep them, bro. Like real talk. Shout out to all the band directors that are pushing their bands, regardless if they want to participate in the band of the year or not. Man, being a band director, just like anything, is a calling. And honestly, sometimes we argue about, who's better, who's not. But everybody working, everybody sacrificing their time, everybody sacrificing time with their family. Shout out to the significant others and wives and whatnot that are riding with them, carrying this dream out to ensure that we educate the marching arts and the marching sport overall. So all of that matters, man. So just lift people up in prayer. That's all. That's the main thing. Pray for people.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm definitely gonna say this. I definitely agree with your sentiments. Shout out to everybody who's openly participating in the band of the year. Shout out, actually, and I'm gonna say this. Shout out to band of the year, because again, I think the intentions are noble, and so I don't think that they're doing anything that's trying to be necessarily out of malice. And so, but I like everyone else know. Well, I ain't gonna say everybody else, but most people know that there can be some things that can be done better. And so we're going to continue to have that conversation over and over again. So I definitely want to make sure that we put that out there. Also, don't forget, you can go in our store. We still got shirts in there, man. Go ahead and pick you up your HBCU band shirt, or you can go in there and pick you up your what is it, the show style shirt. So all of that stuff is inside of the store. You can go and put it inside of the cart, and don't forget, you can get that 30% off your purchase. All you have to do is type in HBCU Band. Also, don't forget to hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm. That will definitely help us out a lot. So if you were inside the comment section, you can keep the comments going as we exit. Or if you're watching this on playback, you can also keep the comments going as we exit. Other than that, man, we will see you in 2 weeks. This has been super dope. And again, we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Everybody know how Mr.